Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was extremely good until it wasn't. Now you may be thinking, what a title. You could say that about several games that you didn't like or found to be disappointing, but hear me out, because as the video goes on, you'll be filled in. As for the current moment in time, I'm going to recap the game's story, so if you haven't played through the game or haven't made it all the way through yet, spoilers will be coming up. Skip to the time on the screen to avoid my rendition of the story or any spoilers that come with it. Ready? Starting off with a familiar setting, we see a transport of vehicles barreling into the Great Arkham Asylum to round up a very select group of individuals, known to us as the Suicide Squad, but in-game voice lines were referred to as Task Force X. Strapped up with a Saw-like test involving neck bombs and betrayal, our squad that consists of, if you didn't know already, Harley Quinn, Deadshot, King Shark, and Captain Boomerang. These four must act diligently at the offer made by Argus Director Waller, or Amanda Waller, or better known as Daddy.
I'm your daddy now, Shark!
To avoid having their heads exploded by neck bombs. But they end up betraying each other anyways, and all end up being inserted an explosive prize. So since they're all now under Waller's control, they have been assigned the name Task Force X, and their simple mission of stopping an alien invasion, and doing that must consist of killing the Justice League. It's kinda in the title. After their first run-in with a brainiac, brainwashed Green Lantern, who flies them around Metropolis against their will, is explaining the intentions behind Brainiac's plan, but is stopped by the Flash, and ultimately, the Flash gets beaten down and must be saved by our squad, but in doing so, we end up in Batman's domain, in need of escape. Here we feel the scary and damaging side of being on the opposite end of Batman. In other words, if Batman did kill people, what would it look like? It would look like this. Fucking bitch. That... You could come out now, buddy. Oh my god. Oh my god. What have you done, Batman? After playing as him in so many games, it's a wild feeling and a very, very gruesome sight to see. One by one by one by one, until we're all knocked out and left helpless to protect the Flash from being captured, he makes one last stand even though he cut off his finger just earlier to save Harley from being executed, only to get beat down again, this time by the Bat himself. Our four friends make the walk of shame back to the Hall of Justice after being freed from the Batman experience by Hack, our digital savior throughout the game, only to run into the only non-brainwashed member left of the Justice League, Wonder Woman, who completely brushes off the idea of working with a criminal squad saving the world and Waller's plans of killing her friends. She goes off to try and save the rest of her colleagues. With the mission set, we're tasked with gearing up and forcibly creating allies in our battle with the Justice League, aka Boomer really just enjoys stabbing people with neck bombs. But as for the story goes, we decide to try and rid ourselves of Waller's rule and head to LexCorp, the creator of the bombs, and get them out of our neck. Finding one of Lex's workers still in the lab, he begins to try and help us until Waller shows up and shoots him in the leg, demanding Luthor's files. And speak of the devil, he pops up on screen and issues his employee his retirement package a little early, but he doesn't have a choice. Waller takes out her frustration on Lex's equipment, while Hack tries to stop the file erase, and Harley finds out Poison Ivy is still kicking, and has escaped the lab Lex set up for her. Now on to finding Ivy, well, more like Little Ivy, and after protecting her plants, our squad discusses how to deal with her being a child, before getting wrapped up by Daphne until Boomer confesses he already put the bomb in their head a while ago. Like I said, he likes using the damn thing. After some new Ivy affliction trading, we track Lex, but he's been waiting for us the entire time, setting up the thing we've been tracked as a sticky fly trap, basically to catch one of us, but not knowing us and Harley's fixation of Deadshot's ass, we all get stuck anyways, leaving us there to fulfill his plan of eliminating the Justice League, which gets cut short immediately by Evil Flash as he rips him out of his suit and begins to interrogate Lex in a matter of seconds. And just for Boomer and Flash to finally agree on something, we try and shoot him. And after all that, Brainiac turns Lex into a giant fucking cannon. Not really. He's stuffed into a box for us to rescue. After taking down the cannon, we get Lex out of the box, only to be confronted by the Flash once more, until Lex uses his Speed Force stopper thingy-madoohickey and sends Flash flying into a bus. And doing what we know best, we unload a hail of bullets into that bus. After blowing up the bus, riddled with bullets, smoke clears and we find Flash behind us. He fucking ripped Lex's heart out and begins to immediately wrap us into a tornado until Wonder Woman can lasso up the Flash, stopping him from killing us too. Meeting back up at the Hall of Justice, an intruder finds himself breaching the security only to be revealed as a kid named Hero, aka Toyman, who as soon as he proves himself to be useful to us, Boomer hits him with a neck bomb. Hero is a mechanical engineer who fixed up the Speed Force tech that we soon end up using to kill the Flash. Once the Flash is dead, Brainiac and Lantern come for the squad only for us to be teleported to a different dimension, aka Earth 2. Teaming up with Lex 2, we get out of Earth 2 back to 1 and keep Lex 2 a secret from Waller 1. I know, numbers, kinda confusing, yada yada yada. Carrying on. From here on out, it's really just kill the rest of the Justice League, but I'll divulge from the events a little bit if there's something important. We get our Yellow Lantern batteries from the Wayne Bank safe house, where we come across Wonder Woman yet again, arming her shield with kryptonite this time. We try reasoning with her again, but she sets on her path. Getting into Lantern's fortress and kicking his ass, we once again chop off a finger. But this time it's Shark getting his hands on it, and he tries to take the ring off while a nuke is heading straight towards the Skull ship after Shark ends up turning into Shark Lantern and sends a giant shark breaching through the shield to create some space for that nuke. But ultimately, the nuke is caught by Superman, who disposes of it elsewhere. Bada boom, bada bing, it's now time to find the fucking Batcave and hunt down the world's greatest detective. Hold up, divulge time. Time to stray a little bit away. I kind of forgot that Wonder Woman and Superman, battle throughout the next 5 fucking cutscenes. It spans many miles of ass whooping, and after stabbing the Man of Steel with some watered down crypto and being hit many times with a shield, he managed to overpower Wonder Woman and turn her into ash. While Superman recovers, we must get the bat to Lex to unlock a weakness in Superman's new Brainiac getup, since the crypto that Wonder Woman used on him should have killed the bastard. Finding his cave with the help of Gizmo, we come to learn that his boy in tights tried and failed to stop Batman, and then the cave gets flooded with fear gas. Another segment of 1-by-1 torture, we do what we hear Harley say and flood the cave with even more gas until eventually Bats get the upper hand. On the 3 before Harley can put a stop to Bats, turning him into a giant. And we shoot him many times and carry him off to Lex lying to Waller, that we did all that, because we didn't. Once Lex is done, we get some yellow crypto and lure the Man of Steel out by letting Harley put a bullet through Batman's head, and after we beat down Superman, we're confronted by Brainiac after he blue balls us from getting a group high five and explains that he's going to turn us into his new Justice League minions until we're pulled out by Lex 2 and Waller 1. And told that the only way to stop him is to kill him 13 times. And after we kill his first clone, aka the Brainiac Flash, we beat the story. Yay! Now, since we're all done with that, there may be a few more spoilers ahead, but now it's time to cover my opinions on the game, starting with the story. I'm not a DC fan, by the way, not because I hate DC, but just because I really haven't followed or watched or played anything other than the Batman games. So when it comes to superheroes or movies like that, I like Marvel, but overall, I don't really care about taking sides here. I don't care which is better, don't care which is worse. Whatever you want to argue about in the comments, if you do end up arguing about which is better, I don't care. The only thing I do care about is the path that the Suicide Squad takes, and is one that I would like most of the time, if not all the time, for these things to go. I like the darker shit. I like that there's cursing. I like the dirty jokes. I like the blood. I like Batman going on a killing spree. I like the comedy. I guess you could just say I like the overall rated M vibes that this game has. I just wish they pushed it a lot harder. Let me explain. As for the story itself, it's pretty self-explanatory for someone like me to pick up and follow along pretty easily, even though I don't really pay attention to DC. The only thing I don't know is the origins of Brainiac or why he's actually here, yada yada. I get the total control, death, destruction, New Kalu. I get it. But how to get there, for starters. I don't know the plot, the origin, yada yada yada. But the rest of it, I get it, so it's an A for that, I guess. The story overall is pretty damn short and feels condensed. I feel that's the live services fault speaking here, because it's meant for more of a looter-shooter group-type play style that doesn't care about what the story is, just that there's more content coming out and will be pushed out for time to come. But I figured that would be the case going into this, so it didn't really surprise me, although it'll reflect on my other topics I'll be covering in a bit. The title sums up the entirety of the story, so let's dive in on how it all meshed together. The only character development here is from our 4 villains. If you disagree with this, let me know in the comments, but genuinely, I really feel that our squad is the only people that get character development here. Our squad doesn't like each other in the beginning. I mean, they kind of make fun of each other, but they're villains. They're all in the same boat, basically. They argue all the time, but they end up forming a bond that makes sense over your time playing the game. Other than that, Waller hates you from the beginning and still hates you now. Everyone hates you in the beginning. Everyone still hates you now. The people you pick up along the way only have one purpose. After their introduction cutscenes that introduce them, like Penguin and Ivy, that's about all the role they play. The only role they have is I help the player with upgrades and shit that'll never be used because I never saw the purpose. Never once did I actually go to them to get the shit that they offered. I just did their missions in the beginning and then let the loot that came with the, completing those missions change the equipment that I rocked. I never actually went for them for upgrades, or I really didn't know. I barely even went to the main hub. I never felt outmatched. I was constantly getting better shit through the missions, but that's more of a gameplay topic, so let me stick to the story. and I'll cover the gameplay next. But from start to finish, although short, I like the idea of the corrupted heroes battling with the bad guys trying to save the day, but that's about all there was. I guess if you're closer with the DC series, this might pull some strings, heartstrings, but Wonder Woman dying sucked. Not because, oh damn, I'm sad sucked. It sucked because it wasn't emotional at all, and seeing that moment was the only time the game pulled an emotional sad card on us, and it just wasn't all there, poor execution. The comedic emotion is there, it is played with a lot, obviously. It definitely made me chuckle a bit and smile at times, but I can see where someone, if you're not like me, could get sick of it pretty fast, or just ignore it if they didn't care about the dialogue. It eventually does become pretty predictable. I really enjoyed the darker horror element that the Batman sections brought. It was legitimately pretty sick until the final sections before his boss fight, where the ground is literally just filled with gel bombs and became the most overused thing I've ever seen in a video game, and it killed the moment.
I'm working on HQ because it looks like you traded one killer clown for 3 more.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? I get that. There's 1,000 of them though, bro. What the fuck?
You don't call it right in
Oh my god.
Go straight to the heavy stuff.
Jesus Christ. Alright, you're fucking attacking this level. It was scary and now it's just fucking ridiculous. Are you shitting me? Oh my god. There's thousands of them. Who fucking thought this was a good idea? It was scary and now it's just fucking retarded. When I say I wish that they pushed more into the M-rated sticker, it starts out with the Batman killing spree and Boomer cutting off Flash's finger. Then after that, Wonder Woman's death wasn't as brutal as you would like to think it would be after being melted and lasered all to hell by evil Superman. The death animations are just them laying on the ground after flopping over in the cutscenes. I wanted to see more gruesome kills. Other than Flash ripping out Lex's heart, there really isn't much there at all. Yeah, that's about fucking it for the story. All this game does is set you up for more on later, because it's live service, but finding out that you can't even beat the game all the way, technically, literally, you haven't even fully killed Brainiac yet, and it gives you the, congrats, you finished the story, here's the credits, after you killed one Brainiac. Stay tuned, there's more to come. Okay, we just killed the Justice League. This didn't need to be live service. Make one big solid story and call it there. We kill them pretty quickly, too. I strayed away a bit and did my OCD clean up all the side quests before moving forward type shit. But still, if I sat down for a day and completed it without the optional quests, or leveling up and getting loot, you could finish this pretty quickly. There's not a whole lot of space in between killing the baddest motherfuckers on the planet either. Wouldn't you think that there would be more of a build-up in between killing these guys? Not just, I don't know, I guess not. And again, all that's done, that's really it. I have nothing really even to talk about here for the story-wise, because until more comes out, I guess, it's that fucking short and condensed. So it was good, like I said. I like the characters, heroes turning bad, awesome. Then you come to find out it's ending so quickly, nothing but our 4 mains really develop any character development, and even then it's pretty small. Villains beat the baddest motherfuckers ever in quick succession. The top baddie splits into 13 personalities we can kill later on. It was great until it wasn't. It just fell flat. The movement-based combat knocks it out of the park. I'm not even going to lie, it's really fun. With the guns feeling really nice and the traversal abilities partnering alongside the suicide strikes to give you a lot to play around with. Being able to switch to any of the 4 characters at any time other than during a mission gives you all the flexibility in the world, and with some missions even giving you a hyped up boost to one of the characters to give a damage/XP boost if you play them during that mission. I like that you don't just pick one of the 4 at the start and run them the entire time while the bots or other players pick up the others. You're not confined to a playstyle at any time, unlike other games that go, hey, this is how you should play your character, and then you make your decision from there at the beginning, and then you're stuck with one forever. You could play as one the entire time if you really wanted to, or do what I did and switch up and keep all my guys evenly leveled throughout the game, keeping things pretty consistent. And yes, you heard me right, I did play through the entirety of this game by myself. Is it advised? Maybe, maybe not. I wouldn't know. Of course, it'd make things more fun having the boys to play with you, but honestly, I have to give it to this game when it comes to the bot versions of the characters you're not playing. Things actually get done pretty efficiently. Never had a problem with any of them. And the guns you have equipped to them stay, so any boost or buff they do to enemies actually sticks. As for the guns, I know I said they felt nice, and they sound nice as well too, But after that, it's just about picking up the next gun up when you're getting new loot. Most of the good shit will come in way of rewards. After a mission, 70% of the time, not an actual stat, you'll end up with a slightly better version of the gun you already have and swap it out quick. This goes for secondaries, grenades, shields, and so on. You are able to pick up drops from enemies, by the way. It's a bit hard to tell that they're actually drops, like guns and loot and other shit. But they'll end up just being some fucking mid-ass version of the gun you already have. So they'll just be, hanging around your loot inventory without you ever looking at them ever again. I'm going to be honest, I never looked at what I picked up other than my mission rewards, so that kind of sucks when it comes to a game that's supposed to be a looter shooter. However, I enjoyed the damage numbers popping up. It reminds me of the Borderlands games, which is one of my favorite game series of all time, so it butters my bread when I see them. Other than that, it's downhill from there. It was great until it wasn't. Everything becomes the same variation of a mission prior. For instance, the game will cover each kind of mission, and then after that, you'll know that every time you do a mission for hack, it'll be the control the points type mission. If it's for poison ivy, you'll have to control the points, but for plants, there's a bit of variety, but not enough to keep you from noticing the same things over and over again. Although they do try to mix it up a bit. For example, they'll have each one not just a normal bare bones, they'll have some sort of switch up, like you can only kill enemies that are afflicted, or you can only kill enemies through shield harvesting, which adds a bit of variety until you get the one that's only can be killed using critical hits, and other damage that does to the enemy heals the enemy instead. So if you're not playing with a goddamn sniper rifle or a fucking accurate AR, you're fucked, dude. It gets so fucking annoying. It could still be fun, but it gets so pointlessly hard or frustrating very fast without a damn reason. I would have rather it just stayed repetitive. On to the boss fights, and oh geez. This was, I guess, never good to begin with. After seeing them all in action except for Superman in the beginning, I thought it was going to be pretty dope fighting the Justice League. The premise is dope, the execution, not so much. The Flash is just annoying, but his fight is easy. Green Lantern is just the most bland fight ever, still easy. Batman was the only good one until it fucking wasn't. Like, he pulled the Scarecrow move, which was dope, but as you go through each character's POV, it gets worse and worse. Not from it being scary or the game being good. Like, they just started flooding the damn cave with gel mines, as I've said before previously. A fucking fuck ton of them. You'd hit one, trying to dodge another, then fall into another, and hit another. It turned this cool fucking moment into something so fucking stupid. I never got so pissed at something, not even like I'm losing mad. Just like pointless anger. It ruined it. And then his fight is just don't let go of the trigger and sometimes jump over this. Then Superman, his fight is just fucking annoying. It's like not even like hard and like it's not like get good. It's none of that shit. It's just annoying. They all sucked. Then Flash Brainiac is just Flash but endgame mode, so don't die or you'll have to do the entire beginning part again too. It sucks because I really had fun with this game. I thought it was so good, like genuinely fun. But as I write this, I'm looking back and I'm just like, how was this? How was this any good? I don't know, man. How? Like, I know I might be sounding a little too harsh so far, but like overall, I'd give the story and gameplay both like a 6 out of 10. Like the only reason I wouldn't go lower is because I genuinely had fun playing the game, but if I combined the two, it'd be fucking awful, atrocious. I like what it was going for. The execution just wasn't there at all. Felt like a bunch of content padding and poor execution. As for graphics, sound, and flow of the game, this was all played and captured on PS5, and it looked pretty damn good, so I'm happy for that. I had a few bugs that broke my game to where I just had to restart it, so that's fun. For example, one time it just wouldn't load out of a cutscene. Not a cutscene, a loading screen after I died or something. I forget the reason, but another time it was when we had to escort a beat-down Waller and her vehicle glitched in the ground and just wouldn't move. But after that, the game was smooth, looked good, movement never lagged, which is critical since you're always in the air basically, and the color scheme fit the game very convincingly. When it came to sound, well, I'm not really a sound buff. The only thing I'll say is that I did have issues with Superman bugging the fuck out of my audio. Like it would cut in and out when he would bash my head in with a helicopter or do something loud. Other than that, my audio was good the rest of the time playing. I'll give all that jazz an 8 out of 10. As long as it saves and I can restart and come back and all good, bugs don't really affect me much. When it comes to the trophy run, most of the stuff is more just time consuming than difficult. At the time of writing this, I'm a little less than halfway through the platinum. I might end up grinding it out. I'm not entirely sure at this point because, like I said, it's time consuming. It's going to be grindy, but on top of the game not being, sometimes the most enjoyable, yeah, it might be frustrating. But it's a lot of tedious grind stuff like getting characters to max level, beating these incursion missions, yada, 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 collecting Riddler junk, filling out some miscellaneous areas here and there. By the time you're done with the actual main game itself, you'll have about halfway completion as well, because a good chunk is story related and completing side quests from our villain friends that we recruited along the way. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League a 5.5 out of 10. The only thing saving this game for me was just how genuinely fun it was until it wasn't. I like our 4 characters, I really do. I like the funny bits, and the game really looked good. After that, it was pretty disappointing. And that's all for today. If you enjoyed the video and made it all the way through, if you would like to see more, like, comment, and subscribe, please and thank you, much appreciated. Because there's always going to be a game out there to review and play through. Thank you for watching. Peace out, everybody.